Mr. Chairman. I'll speak later to what I was going to say about the plan, because that's not the motion on the floor right now. I'm going to vote against tabling the plan this evening, and the reason is that we've had some very good people that have taken time out on their evening, that have come down here. Some of them have paid to park down here. They've all had to walk a fair distance to get here. If we had a mechanism, which we do, and I'll speak to that later, if we had a mechanism of bringing the people together over the next couple of months to see what we agree with and to see what we disagree with and work that out, I would vote to table this. But we don't have that option, as we just heard from the law director. So I think that what we need to do is to go ahead and vote on this tonight. I'll speak later when that motion's on the floor as to my feelings about that, but I think we should go ahead and do this tonight. I really just can't see what's going to be accomplished by tabling it. If we vote it in, something's accomplished. If we vote it out, something's accomplished. But just to put it off a little bit longer when we can't do anything about it, I think it's almost disrespectful to the time for the people on both sides that came down here tonight.
Commissioner Andrews.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was going to kind of go with what Dr. Briggs was saying. I think if I get my months correct, they're all coming together. But in February, we had a workshop. I was at the workshop, Tony, we had in the small assembly room. February, was it January, February? Anyway, we had discussion in January or February, and the statement was made, a delay at that time was a win for the opposition. I hate that we have wins and losses, but we do. And so then the very next week, the proponents asked for a delay. And so it turned, the Commissioner Norman just spoke about, we didn't have the votes, so we delayed it. But we can't, there's people up here that like parts of the plan. There's things in the plan that I like. There's a lot of things I really have heartburn with, but there's things in the plan that I like, and we can't go about fixing the plan until we vote it down, up or down. And so that's why, being against a delay is not that I want to kill the plan. The being against the delay is because we've got to get it fixed and put it behind us so people can do what they need to do. And I think the people that need to be on board are NPC and codes enforcement and home builders and neighborhood groups. Everybody needs to be involved in it that wasn't involved in it the first time, but we can't change a single letter in the plan unless it's either voted up or voted down. And so that's why I'm against tabling the measure.
Commissioner Bowles.
Mr. Chairman, let me interrupt the conversation for just a second. I am now faced with a family emergency. The storm that blew through here just a short while ago has knocked down a tree on my wife's car, who's not too far from here, was blocked in by electrical wires which have been removed, and I need to attend to a family matter. Now, if we're going to vote on tabling this and we get to it within the next 10 minutes, I will stay for the vote on tabling, but as soon as this vote on this motion is made, I will be leaving.
Do you have insurance? I think out of respect, I'm sure he would like to vote, but Commissioner Bowles, we'll hear your comments, and then we'll.
Well, I would like to get through this, and so Dave will have an opportunity to vote. I am going to vote in favor of tabling it because Tony is the one who seconded that motion, and I feel like as a member of the task force, if he is comfortable with that, then I am as well. I know that how much time they've put into this, and I'm still concerned by the amount of misinformation and erroneous statements that have been made. So tabling it does not negate the input that we've received tonight from our citizens who are here, but it might give us an opportunity to correct some of the misinformation.
Commissioner Norman, you wish to speak again?
I'm really confused now because I really don't want Commissioner Wright not to be able to vote if it goes to up or down vote. Are you leaving if
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay. I'd like to, yeah. Thank you. I'd like to withdraw the second.
Okay, so the motion on the floor then is to approve.
Approve.
So, Commissioners, the vote is to approve. A yes vote means that we send it on to the, I guess, basically to the MPC, or I guess it's approved. It doesn't mean we send it to you, but it means that we've approved it. And then a no vote means that we need to come up with our own plan. Is that correct? Or we need to look at any type of revisions that we need to make?
Mr. Chairman, you're correct. A affirmative vote on this motion makes the plan as adopted by the Planning Commission operative. To not make the plan operative basically kills it, unless you choose to initiate your own plan.
Would we need a separate, Mr. Law Director, would we need a separate vote on that to initiate our own plan if we vote?
It's not on the agenda.
So tonight, it would just basically be, if we vote, a yes vote means it's operative, no vote means that it would need to be addressed at another date?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Briggs?
Yeah, I feel, I mean, really out of respect for Dave, I know he needs to take care of this, and we need to go on, but I do think that this needs to be said, because the way that people vote tonight can be completely misconstrued. And I'll tell you, after listening to this for the past several months and listening to this tonight, I really have the impression, and I'm taking everybody at face value, that they know what they're talking about when they get up here. Because when I hear the people from one side, whether they're developers or property owners, talking about property rights and what this plan will do, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and the benefit of the doubt is they haven't read the plan. Because I've heard them say that there will not be development over 15%. I've heard people, this will stop development. It doesn't do any of those things. I don't know if anyone's read this sheet. This is what we used in our workshop. Quite frankly, from 15 to 25%, there has been no change. I mean, this is really the same thing we've been dealing with for years. And the only thing that's affected by this plan that's a change is when you get to those very, very steep slopes. And even the developers that are against this plan had even proposed not even looking at things until we get over 30% like Sevier County did. So I think there's a lot of people here on the developer side that have not looked at this plan, either that or they're giving out misinformation. The point being is that they don't know what they're opposed to. The other thing is now wait a minute. The other thing is that I've had people stand up here tonight that's for the plan. And I heard people from representing one of the environmental clubs get up here and says that we're for the plan because it preserves green space for us to go out and recreate in. You're not going to go out and recreate on private property. The plan doesn't have anything to do with that. The other thing that I've heard them say is that it'll protect us from landslides and erosions. It won't do that. It doesn't protect you from hundreds of thousands of dollars when we do have rains. It doesn't do that. What does do that is for us to have codes and code inspections that puts teeth into when something goes wrong, somebody has to pay. It may mean that a developer has to have a higher bond when he starts a development. It means that we need code inspectors that go out on the site, and when someone, right now these fines and all that we give, they're nothing but a way of, it's part of business, and you just accept them and you don't do the things that you need to do to stop this. Am I for a hillside and ridgetop protection plan? Absolutely. But the problem is that what people think in this plan are not there. Some of the largest supporters, I'm going to go to East Knox County, and then I'm going to go right out there to West Knox County to the people that voted for me and the people that I represent. If you're for this plan, then you're for sewer plant development out in East Knox County, because you can't have high-density development without sewer plants. If you live in West Knox County and you don't like apartment buildings and condos and high-density townhouses, you don't like this plan. And I go out there and I go to the same West Knox, Council of West Knox homeowners, and they tell us how we don't want this development because it makes traffic worse. We don't want these lower-cost townhouses because there's problems. And I've been over to Statesview, and there's a big problem over there. And on either side, whether you're a developer or whether you're a homeowner or an environmental group that's trying to protect these ridges, this plan doesn't prevent anything. It's just that. It's a plan. What that means is that if you're a developer and you don't like the plan, you have the right to appeal it to the county commission. We can change the plan. We can give you what you want. If you can persuade enough, if you can persuade 6 county commissioners to do this. If you don't like the plan, if homeowners don't like the plan, they can come down here and appeal it, if you can persuade enough of the commissioners to do it. Because there's so much misinformation out there on both sides, I think the best way that we can, and I don't like this winners and losers thing. This isn't a winner take all and a loser goes home. I mean, this is like Fox News or something. It's where we see these same arguments over and over again. And I think somebody said, what is the right thing to do? Because there's so much information out there. I mean, what Tony Norman has said is absolutely right. They've done a tremendous amount of work on this. This is a tremendous step forward. And I really think that there's no developer out there who wants to see the rivers and the hills. If they do, that's why we have to put protection there. Someone said, well, you need to police yourself. Developers can't police themselves any more than doctors can police themselves or lawyers or politicians. You have to have another mechanism of doing that. And part of a comprehensive plan to get to where we want to be involves having a hillside and protection plan, but it also involves having bonds. It involves having codes that have teeth. It means having penalties that have teeth, and it means having inspectors out there on the site to be sure that people are obeying the law. For that reason, I'm going to vote against the plan, not because I'm against the plan, but we need to send this back where we can get everyone together so everyone knows what's in the plan, and they know what it's going to do, and we can come up with something that really does protect the hillsides. Remember, I said that even if you have this plan, they can bring this, it can be against the plan, and they can bring it back to the county commission, a developer can, and get it changed. And likewise with the homeowners. Even if it fits the plan, that can still be challenged and changed when we're dealing with zoning changes. So I don't think it does what anybody thinks it does. And for that reason, I'm going to vote against this. We're going to kick it back. We're involved in all these stormwater discussions right now, and by the time it comes back, we'll have a more comprehensive package to do what everybody wants it to do.
I want to make sure that